these are the cards we will be making today. And my name is Felly, and I'm glad you joined. Last night I did a bunch of blending. Let me show you some of the cards I did. And when I first started making cards, literally each card took me, and I'm not exaggerating, an hour and a half to do. And I probably did all of this ink blending last night. These are just the face plates. In about an hour and a half, maybe an hour if I would have just really buckled down, but I really took my time and savored each blending opportunity. I really enjoy it. So these are from Stencils, and I used my, let's see, Distress ink. Some people have a really good organizational method. You can see my it's my eye mask and my night guard in there, but I keep my inks nearby. Material, you can see my cats checking it out. I box it up in how I use it and what I tend to use the most. So I tend to wax and emboss and do my stencils a lot, so I keep them together. My favorite stencils are on top. And I drew my own stencils. I wanted some whales, and so I drew it on paper, and they look pretty funny. They're homemade, but I'll show you what they look like in a second. So what you do, pick out some of your stencils that you want, and I'll do that. I'm going to tape down these cards, and I'll be right back. So I have my stencils taped to my cards. There is kind of an art to taping. I'm not perfect at it. I keep this and just kind of stick it to my little mat that I have down here because I don't want my tape to be very sticky, because when you go to peel it off, sometimes it'll rip the paper. So you want it enough that it's not sliding around here, but also not so sticky that it's going to ruin your project. So I've used this. This was my homemade stencils quite a lot, and I really liked how they came out. I used stamping, and I just used stamps all over it for one of the holidays I celebrate. So I'm going to try this with blending. I've not tried it yet. This, I should have used like a wax type paper, but I didn't. I just used regular computer paper, and it worked pretty good. So I may have to make another one because it's starting to bleed through, but we'll try it for this project. For the blending tools, I don't have blending tools. This I got from the dollar store, the 99-cent store, which are called Wonder Wedges, and I use them, and they're not gonna hold up forever. I've used them for maybe, I don't know, 20 cards, and they're starting to bleed through. And I use the Tim Holtz Distress ink. So we're gonna get started. Gonna see how this works out. I used some Scotch tape to keep my fingers clean. We'll see how that works. So you want to pick up one of these, and you want to keep your blending tools obviously separated per color. And I'm just gonna start dabbing it on. And you're going to keep doing that. I go through and I do the same, the color, one color, and put it on all 4 of my cards. Let's see. So I'm going to blend this card. It's going to go from yellow to, say, blue. Let's see. These are my 2 favorite stencils up here that I got online, and I got like 25 stencils for, I don't know, I think they were like $9.99, and I would say at least half of them are pretty good, and the other half I haven't learned what I'm going to do with them yet. So just keep doing that, and I'll show you another couple layers. So I'm dabbing on some of the orange. Actually, the color is Spiced Marmalade. And I got them at Hobby Lobby. you, at Hobby Lobby, you can always get a 40% coupon. I think these go for about $25, but you can get the 40% off every day. So, and you can also use competitors' coupons at Michael's. So if you need supplies, you know, you can get one day, and you don't go crazy and buy all of this all at once. Like, I really enjoy blending, but right now I'm using these. So okay, well, I am moving on to, I believe this is called raspberry, picked raspberry. So I'm just putting that on there. And I have this tape because it's really important to keep your fingers clean, or then you get schmutz down here or whatever, and then you have to get creative with your sentiment, or, you know, little jewels or stickers or whatever you decide to put on there to cover it up. So I'm going to keep going with this. So next I'm going to dip it in the peacock feathers, and you can see I've used this before. It's not a true blue, but it is, just like the name implies, like peacock feathers. So I'm just going to start dabbing this, and then when you mix the other colors, the distressed ink, it reacts with the other distressed ink in a really cool way. So I'll show this a little bit longer, but I'll sit there and I'll just keep adding it. I see other crafters using what they call life-changing brushes. I think that's the name of them. So if you really enjoy this, these are not going to last that long, but a bag will probably last me maybe a year. So it's probably a heck of a lot less work to get the brushes. So maybe, you know, if you're going to do this a lot, you might like that. So I'm just going to start adding this all over. Okay, this is what my color blending turned into. This isn't quite what I expected, but it's okay. I'm going to go with it. And my favorite part of this is the peel reveal. So you can take this off. Hopefully you haven't taped it down so much. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. That's fun. I don't even mind the strokes that you can see. So this is what you end up with, and we can do that with the other. Remember, we have the other 4. I'm going to show you some quick stamps that you could add on to this and make quick cards. I give a lot of birthday cards, and I give birthday card sets to people for their birthdays. And if you're a friend of mine, you're going to get a lot of cards as gifts. So I still have the tape on my fingers. You can see it gets all over your fingers, and one smudge can ruin a card. Let me just show you what I did. I don't know if you can see that. I smudged it pretty good. So you can fix these things. So I deliberately chose a stamp set that was quite large, so I can kind of cover that a little bit, the mistake. So this is Inkadinkadoo, and I got it at Tuesday morning, or my mom may have gotten it there. It's a $3.99 set. Probably elsewhere it would have been about 10 or 12. So I'm going to strategically just plop them down. I think this is going to be fun, making that look kind of like the water coming out of the whale. And I use 3 StazOn inks a lot. Let's see. This is my fuchsia. I use that a lot. And the jet black. And for softer feel, I really have been using the timber brown. Obviously you can use these and it's going to match perfectly, but I like a really bold stamp for the sentiment. So I'll show you what these look like. So I'm stamping that down with a block. You can use a Misty, or I have We Are Precision. I think they got sued and they no longer make this one. But you know, you can stick your stamp on it and then stamp over and over. I should have done that, but we'll see how this one turns out. So when you ink this up, make sure you're pushing pretty hard on it, and hopefully it all comes off. With that Misty, you can just keep stamping and stamp in the exact same spot. So that's what that looks like. So I'm pretty happy with that. And this could be a boy or a girl card, or a man or a woman card. So I add a little bit of glue, and I got that little tip from the Mindless Crafting channel. So anyway, so I can leave it like that. I may add some embellishments, or so I can pop up a card a little. So I got this from the dollar store in the men's section. And it's always cheaper in the men's section. If you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or even Tuesday Morning, you're going to be paying, you know, probably 2 to 3 times the amount as in the men's section. So always check the tools and whatnot first to see. So you can add, I would recommend adding the same color paper on the outside, on the inside, so you can write a sentiment. Same way with the brown, it looks better, and I'll show what that looks like. The blue, you can go either way, and the cream, you can leave cream. The Celebrate card I like because you can use this for a birthday or anniversary, or if somebody got a promotion. So I will intentionally leave this ambiguous so I can send it for a number of occasions. And don't forget to do something with the outside of the envelope, even something very simple. I try to match the ink on the card. You can put it on the front. I like it on right here. Let's see. And get it on there. Yes. So you can see the other cards. And so you can see I added another embellishment. I actually had this already cut out. I have the Evolution and die cutter, so I had this. So I didn't show you that, but this card looked really unprofessional and not quite done. So I think that added a nice touch. And so you can see the envelopes match. Stuck with the same ink. I really like that. On the inside as well. You could add some Nouveau drops or something if you wanted, if you felt like that was unfinished. Mine tend to be a little overdone, so I'm going to leave it as is. So and finally, and I'm going to leave that blank inside for now. I may just use it blank inside. I may stamp something later, but I'll just keep it for a card that is kind of ambiguous for now. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.